Hey, what's going on, guys? ETP coming at you guys with another video today, and in this video we're going to be talking about ratings in NBA 2K16. I know this information kind of came out a while ago when they explained the new rating system, but I haven't gotten a chance to actually talk about it here on my YouTube channel. I've talked a lot about it on Twitter, so if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, you do have a Twitter account and you're interested in that type of stuff, I highly recommend that you guys go follow me on there. That's where, I talk about all this stuff pretty much as soon as the information comes out, and I'm always talking to people on there, all about 2K16 stuff, and I talk about the stuff that I can't get to in videos, because sometimes I can't make a video in a timely fashion, so I just, tweet about it and stuff like that. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I highly recommend you go do that. But in this video, we're just going to focus on two main screenshots and two main players, and then I'm going to talk about, some of the other ratings in general and just give my opinions on guys that may be too high, maybe too low, what I think about the rating system in general. But we're going to focus on John Wall and Kobe Bryant. They released these screenshots and ratings yesterday, and this was like a big point of controversy, especially with Kobe. John Wall didn't get too much hate on his rating, but Kobe definitely did. So we're going to start off with John Wall because that shouldn't take too long, and then we'll go more in depth on Kobe Bryant's rating. So John Wall is an 87. You guys can see the screenshot right here. Personally, I think 87 is a solid rating for him. I don't think he should be any lower than that. I guess you could possibly argue he could be slightly higher, but I think 87 seems like the sweet spot right there, and he should be solid. And really, in general, with the new rating system, ratings are going to be different than they have been in the past. They'll be on a lower scale, and some guys might be higher than they have been in the past, but you can't really compare it to past games. And really, in my opinion, I don't really care too much about the ratings as long as the players play authentically to how they do in real life, and the stats stay realistic when you play with them. So that's what I'm focused on, but an 87 does seem good for John Wall. I wish we could get some individual stats as well. Obviously right now we're just getting overall ratings, but it'd be cool if we could get some full-on ratings in different categories. That'd be really cool. But we'll go ahead and move on to Kobe, and as you guys can see in this screenshot, he is an 85 overall. And a lot of people, I saw so many different opinions on this. Obviously you have some of the diehard Kobe fans that don't really think of it logically and think, oh wow, it's Kobe, he should be a 95 plus overall. Obviously he should not be a 95 plus overall, but a lot of people were saying like he should be down in the 70s, and people were mad that he was actually an 85. And in my opinion, that's just completely out of line to think that Kobe should be rated really, low. I think an 85 is solid. I would have been perfectly fine with Kobe being an 87 as well, or right up in that area. Really anywhere from 85 to 88 I think would be a reasonable range for Kobe, but I don't think you can go lower than that, and I'm just going to go ahead and explain why. So people think, okay, Kobe shot 37% last season, and he wasn't averaging, a ton of points per game. He wasn't playing well. The season before that, he was out the whole year. He should be rated really lowly because he played so poorly last year. Really, you can't judge him off of these last two seasons. Before the last two seasons, he was still playing well. Obviously, he was a little bit younger, but he was still playing well. And then he had that Achilles injury, I believe. That was the season. I think that's when he had the Achilles injury, when he was only played 6 games in the entire season. He was out all of that year. And then last season, he did shoot only 37% from the field, but he only played 35 games, and the Lakers were absolutely atrocious. I mean, he had no help at all, so he literally had to shoot pretty much all of the shots, take some really bad shots, because nobody else could really help him out too much. And I think that's why you saw his percentage suffer a little bit, and he wasn't quite on point. And also that could have been from him really missing the entire season the previous year. So I don't think you can really blame him too much for that. This coming season will tell a lot about where Kobe is as far as the decline, and if he's still playing at a high level, and if we'll see him retire within the next couple years. Obviously there's been rumors that he will retire next year. This will be his last season, but we'll have to see about that. But personally, I think Kobe can still score. I see Kobe, if he's healthy and he's got a decent team around him, I still think he can average 25 plus points per game pretty easily. So if he stays healthy this year, I see his rating going up from an 85 for sure. I see it bumping up closer to a 90 than to an 85. Obviously, if he's not healthy, or if I'm just completely wrong and he's just like almost lost it and he can't score nearly as effectively as he used to, I can see his rating lower or just stay generally the same. But personally, I think he's still got a little bit left in the tank, and I think that's partially because the Lakers have improved some in this offseason. Just adding D'Angelo Russell alone, obviously, I don't think D'Angelo Russell is going to be like that type of rookie that's going to come in and just completely dominate and change the franchise. I think he will be a very, very good player in the long run, but I don't see him stepping in and like winning Rookie of the Year this year. But I think just his presence on the court and his playmaking ability will open a few things up for Kobe. He won't have to take that, full load of having to play point guard all the time, especially with Jordan Clarkson now becoming more of a threat last season. So I think with Jordan Clarkson, D'Angelo Russell, and even having Roy Hibbert, even though he's been a little bit off over the last couple years, he's still a little bit of a threat. And if he can get going, they'll be in decent shape. So I think that'll take some of the load off of Kobe's shoulders, and we'll get to see what he can really do. And that's really my logic behind why I think this rating is pretty good. It could be a little bit higher, but I just don't agree with the people that think he should be down in the 70s or lower. You can't lower a guy's ratings too much just because he's been unhealthy. That's why they have a durability rating. You shouldn't knock down his overall ratings that much for that. If that were the case, D-Rose should be a 70 overall, and I know nobody would agree with that either. But if you guys haven't heard about the new rating system, I'm not going to go into depth. Obviously, I've talked this whole video about ratings, but I haven't talked about how it works. I'm assuming you guys generally already know. If you're kind of connected to the 2K loop, you've probably already heard about it. But basically, ratings are now based on a Hall of Fame scale. So the example they gave is they considered Dennis Rodman the best offensive rebounder of all time. So only Dennis Rodman in his best season will have a 99 offensive rebounding rating, and then everybody else will kind of fall in line after that. And I think that's a really, really interesting way to rate players. I think that works really well for my team because you've got legends and current players playing along each other. So I think that's pretty much spot on as far as how they should do it for my team. As far as the regular game, I'm not really 100% sure. I feel like maybe there should just be a current player scale, and everybody falls in line with those players as far as the current rosters. I'd be perfectly fine with my team having a completely different, rated base set, specifically for my team, and then have a different one for all the other modes. I don't really know, but overall I think it will be okay. It's definitely a little bit of an interesting system. I am a little bit puzzled as to how they're going to rate rookies based off of this, because obviously with no experience in the league, how are they going to base them on a Hall of Fame scale? We'll just have to see. But I'm going to go ahead and close it out now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this rating system. What do you think about Kobe's ratings? What do you think about some of the other guys' ratings? As far as some of the other guys, I think as far as the most overrated player so far, I would have to say that's probably Hassan Whiteside. Now, I don't think his rating is way off, but I think an 89 or an 81 is a little bit too high. I put him more in the 77 to 78 range, right about there. As far as the most underrated player, I think that Terrence Ross was a little bit underrated. I don't think him and he's a 73 and Langston Galloway is a 72. I think Terrence Ross should be more in the 75 range, and then Langston Galloway, I guess you could keep him at a 72, but I think he should be more on the 70 line, somewhere around there. But I want you guys to let me know what you think about these ratings. What do you think about the individual guys and all types of that stuff in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.